Hello and welcome to Athena X News, your reliable source for all artificial intelligence news and cool tool updates. I'm Stephanie Kessel, co-founder of Athena X. We are an artificial intelligence implementation consulting firm. And if you are interested in artificial intelligence, you are in the right place. Just a very brief reminder that if you are looking for what other videos we might have, you have to go to the live tab. All of our broadcasts are live on YouTube, and so they will not be uploaded videos under the video tab. They will be under the live tab. Just a quick reminder. All right, so let's dive in. Here is the topic on everybody's mind right now. And Computer Weekly came out with an article published today. Let me go over there and let me get rid of that. And I'm just going to zoom in here a little bit. Let me see if I can click here and zoom in. There we go. That's a little bit better. Anyway, I thought this was a really good article. And, there are hundreds of these circulating Twitter and LinkedIn and the internet right now. But as I read through this one, I just thought it was a really concise synopsis of the issue at hand. Artificial intelligence. Here's the thing, though, before we get into the article, this is my quick personal view on this. I'm gonna make this just a tiny bit bigger. Artificial intelligence has been around for decades, and people have just kind of been blind to it. They just didn't know that it was doing work behind the scenes. I'm a serial entrepreneur, and before running the AI implementation consulting firm, I had several other businesses, and many of the things that small businesses take for granted are all run by AI. And one of the biggest things that comes to mind, is the advertising. If you are advertising on any of the social media platforms, they use machine learning to target your audience, and they are really good at it because they've been doing it for a long time and collecting data for a long time. And a couple years ago, Apple got in the mix and kind of blocked access to data, and that made it a lot harder for the machine learning to do its job. But it also actually in the end probably made it do its job better, because it wasn't it's having to work a little bit harder and use different types of data points as opposed to being fed it directly. But that is not what we're talking about right now. But basically what we're talking about is the fact that, all of this is coming to a head right now, and it's all because of ChatGPT, really. And the reason ChatGPT is the trigger for this debate is that the developers of ChatGPT were surprised at the difference between ChatGPT 3.5 and ChatGPT 4. And it has exponentially surpassed what they thought it was going to be capable of. And so that has scared everyone. That has gotten everybody a little bit uneasy. If they are this off on their timeline, how off are they on some other predictions? A lot of the godfathers of AI were not at all thinking about the dystopian side of what AI could be capable of. And instead they were, all pretty, since we have a little more room, I'm sorry. I'm trying to be a little more, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. My big old face on the side of the screen. So yeah, what I was saying is the godfathers of AI they've decided to take a step back and think about things for a little bit longer and say, are we headed in the right place? Because the problem is, if they don't get alignment right, alignment is the biggest problem. If they are off trajectory with alignment, and AI is able to do all sorts of crazy things like self-replicate or take humans out of the equation, then we're off the rails, right? But we haven't gotten there yet, but I think everybody is just saying, let's not get there until we know what we're doing. But so let's talk about this article a little bit, if we can. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more because we can. All right, that's a little better. All right, so AI can and will be a force for good. It will. We've already seen that it can do amazing things, and it can help humans make their lives better, make our lives better, make humanity better, help us reach goals faster than we could without it. But we need a global conversation about its regulation to make sure the benefits of the technology outweigh the risks. And I think, regulation is this buzzword that everybody's saying, but nobody even knows what it means. What are we going to regulate? What kind of guardrails are we going to put on? We don't know. They don't know. Nobody knows. The rise of artificial intelligence is not only a topical point of discussion, but a contentious one too. And this is what I was saying. The godfathers of AI have turned their attention away from the positive potential of the technology and towards the potential of Armageddon. Warnings have been plastered across national newspapers debating whether or not humanity is driving itself towards extinction. Yes, it's either we are going to have a utopian society or dystopian society. Of course, it can't be anywhere in between, right? If there is one point of consensus, it's that the path ahead is still not clear. That's where I'm at. I'm not taking either tract because I think it's too early to know. I think it's too early to know whether AI. What the world is going to look like with AI. And whether AI will help or hinder us remains somewhat undetermined. I think it's clear that it will help us. I don't think there's any doubt about the fact that AI has already helped us and will continue to help us. It helps me and my clients every day in their businesses save time and money, which, as we know, if you are a business owner, is pretty much the name of the game, right? It's the key. It's what allows you to be profitable, especially as a small business where your resources are not vast like Google's or big tech's. The deeply polarizing nature of this debate prompted us. They went in depth here, and that's why I really liked this article. So they gathered leaders from business, technology, the creative industries, law, and academia to drill down into the question, is AI a friend or a foe? I would love to know what you think, whether AI is a friend or foe. I'm not claiming to have the answers. I know that I use it, and I know that it has been a friend to me and all of the businesses that I have helped. And we have not yet seen it cause significant harm, although there was, OpenAI was sued the other day. So I'm going to have to do an article about that one too. So I think the harm is creeping in, and or people are trying to find ways to show that it is harmful. I do think there is a huge risk with AI. Let me be clear. Ultimately, there is one answer to the hypothesis. AI will either be a friend or a foe, depending on how we harness it. Exactly. From aiding in medical research, and I think we know that AI is beneficial, right? It helped a paralyzed man walk again. The capabilities are endless. It could probably help us, go warp speed, and everything that you see in Star Trek will come true in 10 years. We could probably transport, which would be huge, right? Take all the cars off the road, all the oil problem goes away, everything. I mean, there are things that AI can do that will transform our lives and our world for the better, but that's not the concern, right? Immeasurable benefits. I'm not going to go into all the benefits because I think for me, it's quite obvious what the benefits are. If you are not clear on what the benefits are for AI, please write in the comments and I'll do a whole video about it. As Microsoft has suggested, AI is a co-pilot sitting alongside us but not flying the plane. That's what I say too. I say it is just assisting humans do things that we are not particularly we don't find particularly enjoyable and that AI doesn't mind doing. But to reap AI's rewards, we do have to educate and train people, particularly the younger generation. Everybody. We have to educate and train everybody right now. That's what I do, all the time. You can, there's a link in our description for all of our videos. We give free blueprints to any businesses that would like one, so we can show you how you can implement AI into your business and help you transform your work life and work-life balance, basically. AI can help you save so much time and so much money. But we have to start young now. We have to start in the schools, but we have to decide how we're going to integrate AI into the syllabus, right? With frameworks that will keep our children safe as well as teach them the skills necessary for the future. They are going to need to know this. We are seeing this in higher education already. Of course, so here's the regulation side of the key. Creating policy and parameters around artificial intelligence is necessary and important step, with AI already permeating everything we do. And I mean everything. You don't see it, but it's there. It is vital that global leaders come together to discuss it. I think everybody can agree to that. Indeed, holding these conversations on a global level is likely to temper the doomsday talk around AI. I quite agree with that. When there's a discussion and everybody can agree that we need to talk about it openly and honestly and have views from all angles, I feel like that's the only answer. Governments are beginning to engage in discussions about what regulatory environment looks like. It's exciting to see the UK at the forefront of these discussions. I do, however, I am concerned about the regulation part of this, in that you don't want to inhibit growth because you're afraid of something that might never happen. We have to make sure we put the correct guardrails on. Do I know what they are? No, I don't. But I do also know that sometimes regulations are just put on there like a rubber stamp, like, okay, we did something, now you can't blame us for anything that goes wrong, including human extinction. We put a regulation on it. And that's obviously not what we need. We need actual guardrails that will help us. So unanswered questions. AI exists not only for our convenience, but also to help us perform better, speeding up processes and in turn leaving us with more time for high value work and perhaps a better work-life balance. That is the statement that I have been preaching. Yes, AI can help us. But while we must take the warnings around AI seriously, we should also be embracing and therefore refining the abundant ways in which we can enhance our lives. There are still many unanswered questions that need addressing, including the crucial question of global accessibility and bias. So, I think this article is kind of, the reason I'm reporting on it is because I'm kind of in line with what it's saying. It's saying that we should embrace what's available in AI right now and kind of let the people smarter than me and let the big guys who know what they're talking about with AI weigh in on the regulations. And I think it would be pretty cool to have some sort of like a continental Congress type of situation, like they did when they were determining the Constitution of the United States, right? You get all these smart guys together talking about the same thing and debating it and come to some conclusions, and there will have to be some compromises. And but I think that would be a really cool thing to watch and to I think it would be pretty useful in that I don't know who would be invited to the Continental Congress. Obviously the developers of the AI, godfather of AI, Jeffrey Hinton, Sam Altman, Elon Musk, all of those guys, and then the governments as well. But, I wonder with the heads of government, they don't know anything about AI. I guess they have to protect their people, though. All right, so that is it for this article today. Everybody's still on the fence. There are some people that are very convinced that AI is about to kill everyone, and then there's some people that don't believe that it's going to be harmful at all. and they've taken their stance and they believe it. And I'm in between. I think it's very useful, and I think there's a chance it could go very wrong, and we probably should do something about that. But I'm glad it's not my job. Okay, so for our tool of the day, this tool is super cool. I have used this for a client or two, and I wanted to show you how a little bit about it. It's Reclaim.ai. A lot of people use Calendly for their their work calendars. Send a booking link, and people can find time on their calendars and book it themselves, which is really handy. But the cool thing about this tool is that you have a lot more control and flexibility with your calendar. I'm going to go ahead and kind of set it up together. See, what are you going to use it for? We're going to use it for business, exec, let's say operations. So here's the cool part. And I've set this up before, but I wanted to kind of go through it with you. You can have habits. These are the flexible things on your calendar where you give it like a minimum and or a maximum time frame, and let's say you have lunch. You're willing to have lunch from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., but you need a minimum of 30 minutes. You don't want to go without a lunch. You can schedule that, and it's smart enough to allow meetings to be booked and shift your lunch around those meetings. You don't have to do it manually. It can do it itself. And you can set up any number of other habits. You can do your workout schedule, and your workouts can be shifted based on meetings and or other obligations. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. Yeah, that's fine. Select a calendar. Nope, that's fine. Okay. I don't need to sync that. Okay, turn on decompression time. So this is 15 minutes of a break after every video call. Travel time adds 30 minutes of travel time before and after events with a location, and finish. And I don't think I have very much on this calendar. But it's very cool. So if you go to habits, here's where you can set these up. And so lunch, let's set this up real quick. You want duration, minimum is 30 minutes. Let's say a maximum is a maximum is an hour. Who takes a 2-hour lunch? I guess some people do. And personal, 30 minutes to an hour every day. Ideal time. So here's the thing. 11:30 to 2 is your window. So you give it a window and it will shift accordingly. It'll give you your maximum is an hour. So it'll start out at an hour, but if a meeting eats into it, it'll allow it to go down to 30 minutes every day. Ideal time at noon. And then show lunch with a description, show as busy, more defensive. You have the ability to always free, meaning anything can be booked over it. Obviously you wouldn't want to do that for your lunch, but you could do it for, I don't know, if you're not that, if you don't really want to work out, you can do it for your workout. Or let's say it's like you put in there, here's my email review time, right? Here's when I'm going to review all my emails, and you decide I'll find another time to do that. I'll do it, whenever. So you have it booked, but meetings are more important. Then you can have always free for that particular habit. But if nothing comes up, then you can make that happen then. All right, so let's just go ahead, and I'm not going to send notifications for my lunch. Save, and let's go to the planner. So it's got all these habits on here, but like I said, it will shift them around very flexibly, and it will know. So you can put in your calendar, when you're setting up a scheduling link, it will view this depending on how aggressively you have chosen to defend it. This is super cool. This allows you to not have to think about booking, right? You can start your meeting booking schedule from here and go all the way through. And at some point, it will not allow you to book your lunch because you have a minimum time of 30 minutes. And at some point, whatever your flexibility settings are for each habit. So let's say you wanted to block off this entire afternoon for something, reviewing a document, and you need several hours to do it. But you don't want to block it off completely. You can set the entire habit. You'll set it as a habit, even if it's not recurring. But you want it to be open for meetings just in case. You'll set the whole thing, but you can book over it. In normal calendars, if there's something there, it can't get booked over, and it won't be seen as an option for other people to book there. But with Reclaim, it can, and it is really, really cool how it does that. So it'll shift your schedule all around, and then when you wake up, you're like, oh, thank you for telling me what I'm going to do today. I had no idea. Anyway, so that is, I really highly recommend they give you a 14-day free trial. I have been using this and suggesting this for many clients, and the reports back are that they absolutely love it. And I'm using it for a different calendar. I don't use it for this calendar. But that's why I showed you a brand new clear calendar. You don't need to see all my daily activities on here. But yeah, this is, I highly recommend this. It works just like Calendly. You can use it in lieu of Calendly, and you can do scheduling links as well, just like you can in Calendly. You can do Teams, just like in Calendly. And so just like a flexible quick meeting. And let's go ahead and see what that looks like. Open. So this is my booking page. People can book this flexible quick meeting, and it will, let's go ahead and book. See, right now it's not offering noon as a time because that's my ideal lunchtime, and there are so many other availabilities. But let's see what it does. Well, this is not gonna, yeah. 1 hour high priority meeting. And you can set all of the meeting parameters just like you can anywhere else. Yeah, I want to see it's blocking off lunch because there's too many other, if availability gets scarce, that's when it can eat into your lunchtime. But yeah, you can do anything like with Calendly, and this is all set up, ready to go. You can put in your Zoom link if you want to. I highly recommend going in there, getting a 14-day free trial. I don't get any, I'm not an affiliate for them at all. I don't get any kickbacks if you go there and use it. The link below is not an affiliate link where you can just click it in. I don't get anything. I just think this is a really valuable tool that people would love. And all right, I have rambled quite a bit today, I feel like, but the topic of artificial intelligence, friend or foe, is obviously a big one. And it's one that I think about daily. And it's one that I think it's worth just kind of chatting about. I would love to hear what your thoughts are. If you want to drop me a chat in a comment, and I will be sure to respond. And on that note, if you have gotten any value out of my rambling today, I would appreciate a like on the video and a subscribe. And if you want to know the next time I'm going live, you can click that little bell icon and it will alert you and say, hey, Stephanie's got some news or a new AI review, tool review. And I'm going to do a little bit of news and a tool review every single day, live broadcasting like clockwork, unless something bad has happened. So, all